Hey everyone, welcome back to Citrus Games and what could possibly be the final Mortician's Tale. The game itself is only supposed to be about an hour's experience, and I've pushed this to almost an hour now anyway, so we've got to be really close. So let's dive straight back in and see what's left. Shad Grant. Did I read that last time? Yes, I did. That's from the guy who owns the other place, Hillside Heritage Enterprises. I think we're going to get straight back into it because we did the rest. So this is coming from the new gaff now. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. A bike accident was, well... Oh, no. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. I wonder what happened. Charlotte, below are the details of our next client. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you are done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. I will review your work. He's going to come in and have a look at the dead body that I'm dealing with. There's probably not going to be a lot left for him to see, though. It will be a cremation. Let's get to it. Here she is. Jocelyn. Taken before her time. I assume. I don't think she was a old lady biker. Before we cremate Ms. Lonescombe, we need to prepare her body. Let's start by removing her watch. Swipe. Click on the round tag. Why is it still telling me these things? In case I've forgotten. Into the fiery hell! Okay. So the cremation station, as we've learned, that bone fragments do not break down into ash from the cremation. This is done in this machine. Oh, hang on. I want to start cremating before we put the pot down. And a lovely vase it is. In goes the banana bone. Why has she only got this many bones? Exactly 2 bones and a head. Seems strange. In goes the skull. I think that's it. Lid. Matthew will take it to the funeral. Follow the arrow, yeah. Simple stuff. Ooh, full house. Lots of people in today. We've got a stand of cupcakes as well. Right, pay your respects, please. Okay, and we'll work our way around again, as usual. She was always so careful, wore her helmet, signalled, used the bike lanes. A-hole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't asked. I haven't wanted to ask, Leah. This has been hard enough on them without asking about the legal ramifications. After all, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. True enough. A guy with grey hair? Dad, maybe? So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it seeing her body. I don't want to know. Well, actually, we saw her. She didn't look that bad. I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks. I mean, but no, I don't know. It's so intimate. It feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. She was kind of a closed book, except to you. Yep, she was special. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine to binge watch something right now. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. It's interesting each time we come into one of these rooms just to see how people deal with the grief at this particular time. Some of them are just completely closed off. thinking about drink. Tough times. March 24th, 10:30 a.m. Oh, you got a plant on the desk there. Brighten the place up a bit. Here we go. Right. Where was the... Oh, we haven't actually got an email from the people who we did the cremation for. I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs like a human being, Charlie. Like a human being. We as a species have seen the beginning of our end. She's crazy, that girl. Crazy. Shad Grant. Hello, Charlotte. We have reviewed your request on behalf of the potential family, inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprises can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you of this in the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost effective. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Enterprise must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers though, so do try your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to instead choose traditional burial packages, complete with embalming, caskets and vaults instead. So Chad is all about the cash and not bothered about the environment. Shame on you, Chad. Matthew Jeffrey. An original email from Chad Grant. As stated in the previous email, there is new rules of code of conduct I expect you to follow from now on while on any premises belonging to Hillside. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly to this, is that no tattoos are to be visible. We have tattoos. I've seen them. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell. What? I.e. always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. Chad, are you sure you aren't the devil in disguise? That's awful. Don't upsell. It's a hard enough time for people as it is. You don't do that. We find that encouraging loved ones to think about comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit. Chad, I'm going to smack you in your face in a minute. I don't know what your face looks like, but I'm going to smack it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partner catering concepts provide high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted on the morning of the funeral. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition into the high-quality services. Christ! This game is coming to an end, you can tell, because that is not on. Charlie, I need a drink, beer after work. P.S. Also, I want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry. And no, I will not say hangry. Ever. Well, I think Matt seems like he's calmed down a bit. Because he was very angry last week. So, funerals monthly. The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many. Home funeral? Is that buried in the garden? I thought that was just reserved for pets. Especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes will almost always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? That's a good point. It's a good point. Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend much longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time before they're taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. I'm not sure about that. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of loved ones yourself, to wash and dress them and organise their viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or burial itself. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given what state you live in. In all states, it's legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require a funeral director's involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. If this is a route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book. But just know that this may be an option available to you and your loved ones if you so choose. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I've seen too many horror films to think about having a dead body in the house. I know it's not funny. It would make me think like, you know, like the Evil Dead type thing. What if the body... It's not going to reanimate, obviously, but just the thought of having a dead body in the house is too much, I think. Especially for a loved one. You wouldn't want to think of them being there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Chad Grant, latest acquisition. Charlotte, I am proud to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprise received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. is being paid a decent wage from the city for these services, cremation is preferred here as it's the most cost-effective of the two options. The first unclaimed body we'll be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver, aside from cremation. Chad Grant, I'll take care of it. I thought he meant it was just going to be a pile of body parts that we've got to get rid of. So we don't know anything about this old guy. Potentially a homeless man. Before we can cremate this gentleman, we need to prepare his body. Doesn't have any valuables on him. Well, he wouldn't if he's homeless, I would imagine. That would be damaged during cremation. So let's not worry about putting his identification. So what is there to prepare? Done! Wow, these jobs are getting easier and easier. I'm not sure what I was expecting with this game, but I think I was expecting probably a little more variation in what you have to do. I mean, it was good when we switched from the embalming to the cremation, but there's not really a lot left to do other than this by the looks of it. Notice this time, though, because this guy is a homeless man, he doesn't have any sort of patterns on his jar. That just seems like Hillside are saving cash again. Matthew will take the... So who comes to one of the... Is this like a public thing? Do you attend the funeral? I mean, who's going to go? They don't even know the guy's died. Oh, now that's sad. So this guy's died and nobody knows. He's got nobody who's come to his funeral. Just us, the Mortician. I think just because there's no one else here, I'm going to give him a secondary show of respect. Well, that's upsetting. And I imagine that happens a lot as well. April 9th, 10:19 a.m. Okay. Oh, it's a long one from Jen. Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession, and I was equally freaked out by the possession scenes. But so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work, and also isn't too into it like that last dude I saw. Jason, Michael, can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say that, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento mori, or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. We just clicked. Feels good. Fun and affirming. Like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on top of a Ferris wheel. Be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100% no matter what you decide. That's an interesting thought, I guess. If you do spend so much time around death, I guess you are going to appreciate life more. The rest of us tend to avoid death wherever possible. Matthew, he's done. Charlie, it's official. I've put in my 2 weeks notice. You know how unhappy I am working for Mega Corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself, but you I am worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you. Okay? P.S. I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. We've only just started our career as well, so that's a little bit sad that we've been thrust into the corporate churn. Latest acquisition. I'm thrilled to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises subsidiary, Rose and Daughters, just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us to access all of the cadavers that come through their pediatric and maternity wards. We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 100,000 patients and receives over $15 million in funding and donations annually. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillside Heritage Enterprises' bright and sustained future. Chad's all about the money. I don't like Chad. Funerals Monthly. We can call it a few different things, like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. Or perhaps more commonly, resumation. Its technical name, though, is actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever we want to call it, it's here and it's environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, we'll call it water cremation. Water cremation? What's that? Is that like when you get a hose and you put it on a full blast and just blast the scum away? That's what you do, only you aim it at a body. No. Let's find out. We all know traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment, the high energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gas effect being one of the chief amongst them. And water cremation is an alternative method available for the eco-conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses really strong alkali in the water heated up very high, about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It basically works like a sped-up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water at a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than traditional cremation process. Neat. It's been around for a bit and in some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have greater impact on the environment than necessary. I didn't even know that was a thing. That can't be a thing, surely. That's just for the game. Water-based chemical process. It just sounds like a scene from Breaking Bad or something. Chuck a corpse into a barrel and pour a load of acid on it. That's basically what you're doing. I imagine it takes a bit longer with water, though. Chad Grant is the next. Oh, it's a big long email string, this. From Coffee Dimka. Regarding the last time we spoke, my daughters and I would still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden, and we don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she has a proper send-off. Oh, Chad's going to get involved, isn't he? Trying to get more cash. Dear Mr. Dimka, I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you the best way to honour your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. I promise you your wife's funeral with us will be beautiful, intimate gathering where all of your beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. A standard embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was, beautiful, peaceful and courageous. Letting us take care of the food with our prepared food service will ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard enough time right now. Let us here at Rose and Daughters make this difficult time a little easier for you. Dear Mr. Grant, okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. That's wrong. That's not on. He's just, two minds there. He's absolutely not trying to help. He's trying to upsell. I can understand offering the service and trying to make it easier for the people, but that's just not what he's doing. He's just making it seem like that's what he's doing. Charlotte, if you were not able to convince the Dimka to take a standard package, I had to contact them myself in order not to lose this sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell. You shit, Chad. I don't want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. That is part of your job. Oh, I hope that the last funeral that we have to deal with is Chad Grant. That would be a poetic end. Sudden heart attack this then. The deceased family have asked for an open casket funeral, which means the body will need to be prepared and embalmed. Start by cleaning the body. We're a professional at this now. We don't need any help. Massaging. Mrs. Dimka. Cap it. Glue. Oh, look at us go. This should be timed. Lotion. Oh, I missed it. Going too fast. Oh, picked up the wrong one. Get the tubing in there. More tubing. It's the timed level. Speed run. Jesus, how much are we putting in her? A little bit strange about massaging for so long. Trocor! Sucky, sucky. All done. We'll take care of her. Okay, let's go and pay our respects. This is Dimka. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. What did you think of that What did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I've heard that show is good. I saw that video of the one kid doing karaoke. See, that's what I mean. They're dealing with it in their own ways, which is still fine. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mum asked for. I know, honey, but what that Chad guy seems right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mum to know I loved her. Wish I hadn't yelled at her before. It's okay, she knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be hard on yourself. I'm going to miss her. Me too. That's sad. And very annoying. It makes me annoyed at the fact that the Chad upsold. It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. It would be good to stretch my legs. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. Well, you're standing right next to the food table as well. That's not going to help. August 30th, 9 a.m. Whoa! New office. Is this our office? Amy Rose, congratulations. Charlie, dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there's anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I'm always happy to help. Best wishes, Amy Rose. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humour. Matthew Jeffrey. Hey Charlie, when I first became a Hearst driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathising. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully that I concentrated on my driving skills. Since I'm now working as a, wait for it, bus driver, a school bus driver, Charlie. Can you believe that? Pretty sure I said that the most important part of my job now wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason I was worried you'd think less of me, but I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind, and besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, I might add. I actually love it. The kids can be pretty cute. But don't tell Amy that I told you that. She was always harping on at me for not having any kids and for being cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my wheels. Aha! So it looks like Charlie has started her own business. Jen Love. Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase, but you've stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying not to be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and to check out your new space. Have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find the link in my 1 million open tabs, I'll shoot it over to you. Well, I hope she gets involved with that kind of green stuff and all that alternative methods, just, you know, to give everybody the choice. So that's a new, let's just have a look at this. Magnolia Forest Funeral Home and Natural Burial Park. So this is her costs and her website, I think. Magnolia Forest, named after magnolia trees that surround the funeral home, specialising in at-home funerals and green burials in our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have a closer relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a loved one can be a confusing and sometimes traumatic time, and we want you to feel fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved one from the comfort of your home, be present during their cremation, or bury them in our natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Natural Burial Park. Our natural burial park allows the body to return to the earth and recycle naturally. It is intended as an environmentally sustainable alternative to existing funeral practices. Our park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages, as well as beloved pets. Families also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves if they choose to. We believe in being transparent about our prices and practices, and we are happy to explain all of our prices, work within your budget, and hope to make you feel comfortable and confident in your decisions. Let us know if we can answer any of your questions. Home funeral, $1,000. Green burial and service, $2,200 for adults. Direct cremation, $600. Infants are buried at no charge. We can provide a 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. That's nice. I'm happy for her. If I had had to have buried one more person because the Chad told me to, I'm not sure. It would have been the Chad, would have been the next person that I buried. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and your work. You've made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. So she's got her own office now as well. Oh, look at that. This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Ah, so there we go. So that's the end of A Mortician's Tale. I did actually really enjoy that. It started off, I wasn't sure whether it was going to be a game or some kind of educational experience, but it's been a bit of both, really. It's been just interesting. I don't think individually the components on their own would have made it that good at all, but put them all together and it's made a good experience. A lot of information as well around death. It's a difficult subject to talk about a lot of the time, I think. This death positive sort of way of looking at things, and the information that's been included in this game, in this title, it makes thinking about it a little bit easier. So, and there's a lot of stuff in here that I haven't covered as well. So it's worth saying, if you are interested in looking at this yourself, have a go at this, because there's a lot more I wasn't able to put in the videos. I was trying to keep it condensed and a good amount of time. I didn't want to just be reading constantly emails. So there is still content in it for you to have a look at yourself. So, do have a look at it. You can get it from itch.io. They've got a page. The developer has a page on there. But yeah, this has been good. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you have, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you thought. All my social links are in the description below. And if you're not subscribed to the channel and you'd like to see more from me, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I next post a video. But as always, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.